That game was 1,000% my fault. Obviously, we weren't prepared. One team was prepared very well. BYU played great. Kalani had them well prepared. Obviously, we weren't. One team was playing football. We were kind of, we looked like that was our first live game. And unfortunately, normally your live stuff is against yourselves. But there's nobody to blame but myself. I mean, we knew that. I erred on the side of trying to keep our guys safe with COVID-19 and contact tracing stuff. But we weren't ready to play. Obviously, it's the worst Navy football game we've ever played, but we weren't prepared. And that was my fault because I chose to block bags and tackle donuts. Obviously, BYU's got good players, but it's all my fault. And it's like I told our guys, they didn't lose the game. I didn't have us prepared, and I made a decision on the safety side of it, and it showed we weren't ready to play. I mean, we've been coaching a long time. I would say we've never seen a Navy football team play like that, but we weren't prepared because I didn't have us prepared, and that's the bottom line.
Going off of everything that you just said, how do you adjust moving forward? Will you alter your practices, or will you still be as safe as you have been?
Well, we got to do something. I mean, I got to talk to the doctors and see what we can do and what we're allowed to do. But obviously it's hard to tackle dummies and block guys and try to play somebody live. So, we'll see. We got to try to improve, but it's a good question, Kareem, but we'll see. We'll take a look at how we can get better at that.
Kenny, how much of that do you attribute to not going live? Do you think that explains everything?
It's 1,000%. You've seen us play along. Do you ever see us play like that before?
No, sir.
It's 1,000%. And I just knew early. You hope that it doesn't turn out like that, Wags, but we talked a lot in staff meetings, and there was a lot of concern, like, are we going to be ready? From both coordinators and a lot of coaches, and I heard them, and they were legitimate concerns. Like I said, the last time we tackled anybody was the bowl game. That's 9 months ago, and we didn't have spring ball. We've been in quarantine and different things here at the academy. But like I said, we chose to go that way, but obviously we weren't ready to play. And again, that's 1,000% my fault.
Anybody else have a question for Kenny? Please use the chat.
Could you explain a little bit more about that decision and between you and the doctors, how it came about that ultimately you wouldn't go live?
Well, just the contact tracing, like some of the people that we talked to, just going face-to-face contact, would constitute contact tracing, so we didn't, we were blocking bags. So we asked a lot of questions. So how do you do that? How do you block people? And, can you put bags, and can you wear masks and stuff? And, so it was a lot of conversation with, our doctors, people from our conference. But ultimately, I made the decision. I'm not going to blame anybody. With the information that was given me, I made that decision to practice that way. And obviously, it killed us. It killed us. That's never seen a Navy football team play like that. We weren't ready. Like I said, you think about no spring ball, nothing. Then our first live deal is there, and you're hoping that you could play a little bit better. But the way we played, why would I think anything differently? That was just a bad decision. But I also think this way, if I'm always gonna err on the side of protecting my players. And we've been relatively no positives, so I'd rather keep them safe. But obviously, it's hard to get a football team ready that way.
What did you think of the atmosphere? No fans, no brigade. Did you find it difficult or unusual at the very least?
Oh yeah, we've never been in a stadium like this where it's empty. But these guys BYU, so yeah, obviously like the fans in here, but I'm not going to take away from BYU's win. They got after us. And a big part of it is we weren't ready. They were prepared and we weren't. And the reason we weren't prepared is the way I prepared our team. That's the bottom line. And so there's nobody to blame but myself. I'm not going to point the finger at the fans, the brigade, or any of that, just point at myself. I made a decision to err on the side of caution. And I'm grateful for that because we're safe and all healthy. But obviously, football-wise, we weren't ready.
Just wondering if there was anything, a lot of people, positive you can take away from this game.
No, kind of bus whip. I mean, we've been playing there a long time. We've never lost like that. And as soon as the first couple series went, like, I mean, I've been doing this a long time. I just knew we weren't ready. You know what I mean? And they were ready. They were pad ready. We weren't. And like I said, I knew that. I mean, I knew what I was doing. I mean, like I said, nobody told me that we had to practice that way. There were just things that they said, these are some things to keep your players safe. And I erred on that side. And from football, you know, it's different than basketball and stuff like that. You got to be pad ready. And we weren't, and they were. I mean, very physical team, and we weren't ready. I mean, that looked like our first live scrimmage, and it looked like they've been preparing, you know what I mean? But that's not their fault. That's not BYU's fault. That's my fault. I mean, so I'm not going to take anything away from them.
Would it be possible to really evaluate Dalen or really any other skill position players based off the fact you couldn't get any movement up front?
No, I mean, yeah, we didn't play very well. They played well. They were prepared. We weren't prepared, like I said, because of the way I prepared our team. And it's disheartening. I mean, like I said, we've been playing there a long time. I've never got beat that bad. But they played well, and they were ready. You know what I mean? We just got to regroup and kind of look, kind of Kareem's question, we just got to see kind of how can we practice, you know what I mean, and go back to some normalcy that will we be allowed to, and how we'll do all of that stuff. So we'll talk with the trainers, our doctors, and try to figure all that out.
But with regard to Dalen's performance, I mean, you went to Perry in the second half. There's really no way to evaluate the quarterbacks is what I was asking.
Yeah, no, I mean, we play so bad on both sides. I mean, I don't know. I got to look at the tape, Wags, you know what I mean? Just we didn't play very well, but I got to look at the tape.
Well, Cam, I mean, obviously they were a very physical team. Their offensive line dominated up front. Just kind of tell me the disappointment from the defensive standpoint as far as getting pushed off the ball.
Yeah, I mean, we just got to play better. There's no excuse for it. I heard Coach talking about us not getting a chance to hit, but I mean, a lot of us been playing football for 15, 10 years, whatever. It's just not us. That's not our identity. We got to be more physical up front. We got to be more physical on the back end, just across the board. It wasn't Navy football defense that we showed last year. So we'll come back better. Just got to learn from it.
Coach is talking about perhaps changing the way you practice so that you do get more pad ready. Is that something you would favor?
Definitely. I mean, I'm definitely in favor of that. I mean, Coach Niumatalolo, his priority was keeping us safe. And obviously that's been evident. No positive cases, you know, so I definitely took my hat off to him for that. But I'm definitely open to getting some more physical practices going. As you saw, I mean, BYU, they came to play. Their running backs were running downhill. We were getting pushed off the ball, missed a lot of tackles. So we're definitely open to getting more opportunities to tackle and practice so that doesn't happen in the future. It's all about learning from this and improving and not letting it come over next week or whatever, next game against Tulane.
Just curious, what was the environment like out there with no fans and just everything, the whole setup of it? What did it feel like out there?
I mean, to be honest, when you get on the field, you don't really think about it. You kind of get zoned in on everything that's going on. Honestly, I don't think a crowd getting beat like that, the crowd wouldn't have helped at all, to be honest. We got to find that energy from within. But, I mean, we had some crowd noise playing, so it was a little different. It was weird seeing empty stands. Felt like a scrimmage, I guess you could say. But, I mean, it didn't have any impact on the game and how we played. That was just all on us.
Just talk about the offense. You know, I know the line wasn't getting much movement up front, but you just weren't able to get anything going and couldn't pick up first downs. Just What's your thoughts on how the offense performed, Dalen?
It's tough. That was a tough game to be a part of. Pretty sure it's a tough game to watch as well. But it just comes down to execution. Didn't execute in the first half. Whether had forever back there in the pocket or not, got to execute. And at the end of the day, I didn't do that.
How would you grade yourself? Were you nervous? Did you feel like you maybe did you feel you played as well as you could considering the circumstances, or are you disappointed?
Grade-wise, I say it's an F. Didn't execute well at all, and the offense relies on me. It starts with me, ends with me, and I think it showed today that if you don't execute, you can't win games.
Where do you go from here? How do you improve offensively? How do you get this team back to doing what Navy offense is all about?
You go back to the drawing board. You put the hard hat back on, and you go to work. As simple as that.